Hello, everyone. Welcome to the A Train to Sedona broadcast. I'm Linda Marcanico. The A Train to Sedona is also the name of a book I wrote, a memoir about my journey to love and compassion. In it, I share my failings, my successes, in the hope that my journey will inspire yours. You can purchase a signed copy of the book at lindamarcanico.com on Buy the Book page. Also at major retailers like Barnes & Noble and Walmart and bookstores. I also have a free gift for you. I call it the cheat sheet for high vibration living. 7 exercises designed for you to keep your energy vibrant and in the moment. I want to highlight prayer this week because of the challenging worlds we're experiencing today. When I pray, and I pray every day throughout the day, thank you, God. What do you think about this? Would you help me with that? And I also say a prayer. If it's in the best interest of the universe, can something be lifted so that my prayer could be answered? And in this way, I work along with the divine plan rather than against it. You can download a free copy of the cheat sheet on my website at lindamarcanico.com. Now, I have 2 messages to share with you. One is that this broadcast does not establish a professional relationship. And the second disclaimer is that opinions expressed here do not necessarily represent Talk Radio New York City. Today, my guest is Yuval Rodan. Yuval Rodan specializes in integrating the principles of quantum physics with advanced business leadership to enable a quantum leap in organizational performance. For over 3 decades, he led high-growth startups and companies, raised significant investments, built global sales networks, and managed operations across Asia, Europe, and the Americas. The pivotal moment in his life came when he discovered a deeper truth. What we perceive as matter is, in fact, a compressed magnetic field, and our consciousness acts like a magnet, attracting or repelling outcomes based on its frequency. Once he learned to consciously shift his frequency, he effortlessly attracted investors, scaled companies, and achieved successful exits. Today, Yuval mentors CEOs, founders, and decision makers to achieve quantum leaps in business and life by transforming their perception of reality, mastering magnetic presence, and creating results from alignment rather than effort. Yuval, welcome to the A Train to Sedona.
Hello, Linda. Thank you so much for inviting me. It's an honor to be here in the Talk Radio NVC and with you, of course. And it's a privilege. Thank you.
Oh, my pleasure, Yuval. And I want to share with our listeners that we share a certain resonance and we've become friends and likely will be working together in some way. So it's with great joy that I share and ask you questions, Yuval. So for my first question, what are the influences from your past that bring you to where you are today?
Well, that's an excellent question, Linda. I'm an Israeli guy. I've been born in Israel. I'm living in Israel all my life. But I was growing up in not very poor, but let's say low, medium class economical family from the economical point of view. And money was always an issue for me all my life since very, very early age. I knew that money is very difficult to be achieved. We have to chase money. We have to work very hard to get money. And I was growing a lot with very deep shame and guiltness about money. And those frequencies were actually managing me all my growing life. I was running after money, chasing money, but I couldn't really get it. And now I know that this stage in my childhood was actually as a preparation for my future that will teach me, first of all, myself, and then others, how to shift this perception and how really to do what I'm doing now.
Well, thank you for sharing that, Yuval. My second question is, what is the role of spirituality in your life?
I'm Gemini. So, Gemini are actually two separate entities merging in one body. And I'm very practical, very realistic guy. I was graduated as a mechanical engineer in Israeli MIT, so I'm very grounded to matter, to P&Ls, to numbers, to targets. But on the other side, I'm very spiritual. And this spirituality actually came to my life maybe when I was about this, it came to 30, when I was about 30 years old. Only by then I've discovered the spiritual side that actually has embedded within me. And this side was actually start managing me or supporting me in my practical life. So I was climbing on a ladder, one leg, another leg, one leg, another leg. Material, spiritual, material, spiritual. And then I started understood, or at least to accept that there are some other dimensions or other things that our physical mind does not really see. And we cannot be maybe faced to it, but it's still here. And there is a lot of impact of those sides on our life.
Was there a specific moment or a time where you remember expanding your awareness to the spiritual you?
From now looking back, I don't know if there was a specific moment. I had a specific moment when the quantum physics came to my mind, but we'll come to it. But I think I've been developed all my life. And I was always curious about what is really happening here. Because I had two main questions that were bothering me or knocking on my head all my life. One, it cannot be that life are that shallow that we just get born, grow up, get married, go to the office, and pass away. There should be something more. There should be something more than that. The universe is such an incredible, endless, infinite something that we are not aware exactly what that. And we, the most advanced creature on earth, that's it. There should be something more. And since I'm coming from a very traumatic background about money, I was always curious what makes people, some people, get money very easy, attract money very easily, while others just not. And how can it be changed? So those two main questions actually, I don't know if it were managing me, but were directing me in my personal development.
Lovely. Thanks for sharing that, Yuval. My next question is, what do you do and what field do you focus on?
The quantum physics. Now, as a part of my personal development, spiritual development, high development, no matter how we name it, the quantum physics knock on my door out of the blue. And as you and I know that nothing is in coincidence and all is as per some high plan that maybe we're not aware of. The quantum physics has reached me at the time when I was ready for that. And the quantum physics teach us something that is really difficult to grasp, to accept. And the quantum physics tell us that actually nothing is real. There is no matter, no substance. There is no money, no clients, no car, no house or home, whatever. Whatever seems to us like such a very rigid or material thing is just magnetic field. And I said, wow, that's interesting. So that is why I don't have the money I want in my life. If it is all about this magnetic field that I'm probably repelling it. So there is a field of money and me as a magnet. So wow. If I would only know how to adjust or collaborate my inner polarity as magnet, then definitely money will be easily attracted to me rather than being repelled. And this was really shocking idea for me that actually there is no substance or no matter, that we see it as a matter.
Well, you describe matter as a compressed magnetic field, which is, it's exciting and mind-blowing. You say there's no house, no car, no money, no this, no that. It's all a compressed magnetic field. And we're getting ready for a commercial break. When we come back, I'd like to talk more about quantum physics, about when it first came to you, and what quantum physics teaches us about reality.
Amazing.
Yes. So we'll take a break now and be back, listeners, for this. I mean, quantum physics is one of the most exciting things that I've learned in the past 15 years. So do come back.
Are you a conscious co-creator? Are you on a quest to raise your vibration and your consciousness? I'm Sam Leibowitz, your conscious consultant, and on my show, The Conscious Consultant Hour, Awakening Humanity, we will touch upon all these topics and more. Listen live at our new time on Thursdays at 12 noon Eastern Time. That's The Conscious Consultant Hour, Awakening Humanity, Thursdays 12 noon on talkradio.nyc.
Are you a high-achieving, growth-oriented leader? Are you interested in developing your authentic leadership while creating a healthy, inclusive workplace? Hi, I'm Dr. Mira Brancu, host of The Hard Skills on talkradio.nyc at 5 p.m. Eastern on Tuesdays, where we discuss how leaders develop the hard skills needed to make a greater impact. We interview experts, have live coaching, and tackle these challenges. Listen to The Hard Skills on Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern on talkradio.nyc.
You're listening to Talk Radio NYC. Uplift, educate, empower.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the A Train to Sedona. I'm Linda Marasanico, and my guest is Yuval Rodan. And we are going to be talking about quantum physics. And Yuval, I'd like to know, when did it come to you that reality is really, that matter is really a compressed magnetic field?
Well, as I've said, I was growing as a mechanical engineer, then shifting to sales, to marketing, to M&A, C-suites, CEOs, managing companies, activities running all over the globe, establishing sales, marketing array, acquisitions, working very hard, enjoying, but working very hard in order to get success, to achieve success. And it was not necessarily only about money, but for me, success was equivalent for hard working. That's the way I've been programmed, that's the way I've been grown up, and that's the only way I knew. But as we said, I was developing myself also on the spiritual dimension. And one day, out of the blue, something just popped up on my internet about the quantum physics. And it was something that Max Planck, maybe the listener, maybe they are not familiar with, he was awarded for the Nobel Prize in 1918. And he said, and I'm quoting, "As a man who has devoted his whole life to the most clear-headed science, to study of matter, I can tell you the result of my research about the atom that there is no matter as such. All matter exists only by force of magnetic fields that hold them together." I think it took me maybe a few days just to think about it. At the beginning, I didn't really understand what was behind it. But Max Planck, Nobel Prize, searching the atoms, telling us there is no matter as such. So what is if it's not a matter? And then I've started diving into that, learning about the quantum physics. What are they telling us? And then I found a research of the CIA that say solid matter in the strict term does not exist. Solid matter is an atomic structure oscillating in tremendous speed. The entire universe is complex of magnetic energy field. Wow.
Wow is right.
Wow.
Sounds magical to me.
Wow. Where have you been, Mr. Planck, 1918? What's happened? Where are you? Where is all this know-how? Then I've learned about Einstein and his theory. And really, those giants' mind telling us, teaching us, almost shouting to us, wake up, wake up, wake up. There is no matter as such. It's only dense magnetic fields. Then it was hitting me. Wow, that's why I don't really get enough money all my life. I'm repelling it. And money, if I see money as matter, I'm here, money is here, so money is always stronger than me. I'm chasing money. So I'm depending on money. But if money is just a field responding to my inner polarity, wow, So that's a magic. That's a purpose of life. Life is not just about getting born, grow up, have family, go to the office or to work, and then pass away. So that's a magic. That's a purpose of life.
Mhm.
I couldn't sleep for I have no idea how many days. I was in huge storm. And this is actually where my life has been dramatically shifted. And then I understood, if you're just open to change the perception of reality, the reality will be changed.
And that leads me to ask you, what does quantum physics tell us about reality?
Nothing is real. It's all about fields. And our life actually is much more similar, maybe to TV channels than to anything else, because all realities are coexist simultaneously at the same time. Because if everything is just magnetic field that's responding to us, then we can really get everything to our life at any second. Depends what our inner polarity is. What magnet are we? Are we repelling? Are we attracting? Are we repelling in high power? Are we attracting in high power? And you know the difference? If until then I was dependent on money, money had power on me, and I'm quite sure many of our listeners can really resonate with that.
I can as well. Mhm.
And it's not only money, it's also relationship, health, everything in our life. Then we are weak. Since if we depend on something, become weak. But if it's a magnetic field, then money does not have any power on me. Magnetic field has no power. It's only responding to my inner polarity.
Now, you mentioned friction, removing friction. Can you say something about that, Yuval? Because I would think that the friction it interferes with the polarity, with the attraction. It gets in the way of the magnetizing.
I believe, and this is really very highly spiritually, that we here under a plan that we were the producer, we are the producer, we are the writer, the editors of our life. And our soul is here to get developed. And
Yeah.
how can this soul be developed in the higher world? She can be developed only here. And the way that our soul is being developed is moving from the physical understanding into higher understanding.
Yes.
So that's why we have been programmed to live in those life in very, very, very deep, most of us, low paradigms that actually push us down, convincing us that we are not good, money is a problem, money is a shame, relationship is an issue, and so on are issue. And then from that very low friction, very low heavy weights that actually are blocking us unconsciously from attracting things to our life, then we can be developed and start playing the game of life. So friction we have chosen this friction intentionally in order for us to shift ourselves from ourselves by ourselves.
I totally agree.
That's
Yes.
the way I see it.
Yes. Well, thank you for a wonderful explanation. Now, from effort to being, what changed in you that led to effortless quantum results? Now, you may have answered that a little bit, but just put a topping on it. What changed in you to bring you to this effortless quantum perspective?
I'll just give an example, if may I.
Yes.
At the second, I understood that nothing here is real. It's all about dense magnetic field. By that time, I was managing a local Israeli startup. I have a team here and others, our team in other side of the world. And I decided, if this is the game of life, that I can really attract anything I want to my life instead of chasing, working hard, traveling all my life, leaving my family, then I would like to play big. I would like to sell the company. And I made some inner work about my relationship about money, my relationship about myself, about matter, what is matter. I was shifting my inner polarity, and within 2 months, knock on the door, huge group from the States has knocked on our door and acquired the company. I said, wow, it really works. So Einstein, he knew something, and Planck definitely knew a lot. And then, since then, and this was, if I'm not wrong, about 2015, roughly, or 14, since then, I am shifting myself every moment, every day, every second, as much as I can, as much as I remember, as much as I'm out of the matrix, to control my inner polarity rather than chasing things. And it really works. Things coming to my life with ease since then.
Now, we're getting close to a commercial break, Yuval. And I want, when we come back, to talk about what is a quantum leap. I think you are selling the business as a quantum leap, but maybe you can describe it more formally for our listeners. And also, how does it manifest in business as well as life? Because you work a lot with CEOs and founders, and I think some of them will be very interested in knowing how you apply it to business, of course, as well in life. So when we come back, listeners, we are going to look at those questions about Yuval's work with leaders and founders of companies. So we'll get ready to take a break, and we'll see you soon.
Were you an essential worker during the pandemic? If you needed to learn stages of epilepsy, did you depend on advocates? Did you use new innovations to cope with mental and neurological issues? Maintaining high quality of life and keeping good mental health are what we all strive for. I'm Frank R. Harrison, host of Frank About Health, and each week top healthcare influencers, professionals, and innovators answer these questions and more. Stay tuned on Thursdays at 5 p.m. on talkradio.nyc, and I will continue to be Frank About Health with all of you.
Ready to serve up success with a splash? Hi, I'm Bruce Kramer, a.k.a. the Corporate Cockroach.
I'm the Renaissance woman, Angie Snowball.
And I'm your strategy doctor, Dr. Navtej Desange, inviting you to serving up success with a splash.
Join us as we shake things up with real talk and real strategies centered around awareness, action, and accountability.
And yes, there really is a cocktail involved. Please join us and sip your way to success.
serving up success with a splash, where wisdom meets happy hours. Cheers!
Cheers.
You're listening to Talk Radio NYC at www.talkradio.nyc. Now broadcasting 24 hours a day.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the A Train to Sedona broadcast. I'm Linda Marsanico with my guest, Yuval Rodan. So, Yuval, a two-part question, really. What is a quantum leap and how does it manifest? I want to focus a little on business right now because you guide CEOs and business leaders. I would like you to tell us what actually changes in them through this process. So the first part is, tell us, give us an example or tell us more about the quantum leap in business.
That's an excellent question. We are in business. We are here playing the real life. It's not like we are monk on the mountain. We're here in business. And the real magic is how to enroll high rules to our benefits in the physical world. And that's what the quantum physics actually is teaching us. Now, let's talk about a few examples that people can really resonate and feel in their hands. I have a client in New York. Of course, I'm unable to mention name, but this client was chasing money all his life. And when he came to me, he was really struggling for money. Now, I have what I name as a polarity checkup, where I can really, and that's what I do with clients or with anyone that will be interested to know a bit better about his polarity and why he's either repelling or attracting things to his life. So when he came to me, we make a very quick polarity checkup. And we saw that actually he repels money on a constant basis. And his routine life, he got a job, and after some time, he was fired. He got a job, but instead of promoting, he was fired. So his life were much more like a routine of failures than routine of success. So we analyze what within his inner magnet, his inner polarity repels money. And once we change it, this guy today is managing budget of millions of dollars with ease. It's like jungling with the money, from become struggling for money, chasing money, is now jungling with money with ease. So this is huge jump. Quantum jump means it's not on the slope. It's really 2 dimensions. So we succeed to shift him. Actually, he was succeeding to shift himself. He was the one that actually did all the work. I was only guiding him. But he was surrendered enough and open enough to really shift his inner polarity and move from black to white. Another example, if may I.
Please.
A company that was struggling for sales. They had good product with a lot of need in the market, but for some reason, sales was under very, very tough friction. It was not came easily. They really have to work very hard and to convince and reduce prices in order to get their share in the market. But they had good product. And when I met with the CEO and the team, I understood and I told him, hey, your team is amazing. Nothing wrong about your team. But there are no alignment in your polarity. And that's why the superposition of the magnetic fields is actually removing each other or canceling each other. Because some of them had some issues, some of them did not believe on the direction of the company, some of them did not really understood the product and the gift the product is really showing in the world. And once we actually put all those magnets aligned on the same polarity, then things have been easily start attracting to them. Clients has knocked on their doors. They did not really have to fight for sales. Sales has really just start coming to them. Because company, organization is a collection of individual magnets. And if the magnets are not aligned together, if they are canceling together, then the superposition or the sum of the magnetic field is being reduced. So once we put all them aligned on the right direction, things has been changed. And one more example, if may I?
Please.
A woman that were looking for a job. And she was amazing for what she's done. But she worked as a solopreneur, and she really has been a bit tired of chasing clients. All of us, or some of us, are familiar with this situation where you are really good at what you are doing, but chasing clients and payments and all that kind of stuff really make you tired. And when she came to me, again, we had her polarity checkup or magnetic checkup. And after a few talks, we understood that actually she would like really to proceed at what she's doing, but as an employee and not as a solopreneur. And she said, I would like to become an employee, but I would like to work at the highest possible richest company with the highest advanced technology, where I can really bring my talent, my capabilities to them. And after 1.5 or 2 weeks, she got a phone call out of the blue, coincidentally, from #1 company in Israel. Are you Miss? Yes. We are looking for, and she called me. She rang me on the phone at 9 p.m. Yuval, how did they find me? I never talked with anyone. I was not answering or any of inquiries from their side. I didn't even speak with any of my friends. You are the only one knows about it. I told her, you see, it's all about magnetic fields. It's all about resonance. It's all about frequencies. So if you really just change your perception of reality, you really start being explored with magical things that just come to your life.
So what I'm interested in knowing more about is when you went in to do a polarity checkup with the team in the first business that you mentioned, how do you work with a number of people to shift that opposing energy?
Okay, opposing energy, that's the right word. Yeah, the opposite. It has to start from the CEO. the CEO is usually the one that actually invite me to the company. And he should be the one to, first of all, to be resonate with this, to really be open, to really be curious, to really understand that if his way does not work, maybe there is another way or other way that he is not aware of.
Mhm.
And if the CEO is get resonate with that, then we meet the team together.
Mhm.
And then we start explaining what is quantum physics, resonance, magnetic fields, no matter. Clients are just magnetic field responding to your inner polarity. And then I'm having one-on-one meetings, individuals meetings. Then we see what within them is really repelled or not heavily attract clients or money to their life, to the company. And once we understand what are the obstacles, and many of them are subconsciously obstacles.
Yes.
I was repelling money all my life. No one can teach me better what is about repelling money. Believe me, I'm mastering it. And because I was repelling money all my life, now I can really sense oceans away what are the frequencies of the people I'm working with. And if I've succeeded to change my inner polarity by changing the perception of reality and understand within me as being repelling money, everybody can do it. Everybody. If it's just open for something that is beyond our daily rat race. So once we work one-on-one, we start putting all the magnets on the same direction.
What do you feel is the biggest challenge in going into a team to get their energies aligned, to do the polarity checks? Is there a major challenge here? It's, as a psychologist, I can't help but wonder about that.
The main challenge I'm facing, and it's related to everyone or anyone, not necessarily to a company, organization, or a team, that people maybe still believe that the world is flat. And when you show them that the world is round, the picture that the world is round, they said, oh, wow, this is amazing. Wow, really fascinating. But they are not yet maybe ready or not open,
Right.
or maybe too deeply are in their daily rat race on their survival mode.
Mhm.
They are just not so much ready to absorb something that is beyond our physical world. And many of them, by the way, are getting some explanation, and they go away and then they come back. They need some time. It's very rare at the beginning for some. It's very natural for others. It depends on the awareness, on the readiness. And some are not coming back. So I think the main challenge or the main block is to really be open for something that is beyond our daily life.
After all, we all have our free will, and our timing is going to be different. We're unique, and we need to respect wherever someone is, because we're all connected, and better to be in a flow rather than in any kind of judgment. So we are getting ready for a break, and when we come back, there's the question of if you could share only one message with a leader on the edge, what would it be? And then I want to talk about for people who are in other spheres, if someone is on the edge, what would that message be? So listeners, come back after the break for this very informative segment. We're going to take a break now.
Hey everybody, it's Tommy D, the nonprofit sector connector, coming at you from my attic. Each week here on talkradio.nyc, I host a program, Philanthropy in Focus. Nonprofits impact us each and every day, and it's my focus to help them amplify their message and tell their story. Listen each week at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time until 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on talkradio.nyc.
Hi, I'm Linda Marsanico. The A Train to Sedona is a memoir about my journey to love and compassion. It's also the name of my new broadcast on Wednesdays at 12 noon. When we are spiritual, we embrace possibilities and ideas, which strengthen our mind, body, spirit, health, and wisdom. On the A Train to Sedona broadcast, I plan to interview guests who embrace these expansive practices. Join us on Wednesdays at 12 noon on Talk Radio New York City.
You're listening to Talk Radio NYC at www.talkradio.nyc. Now broadcasting 24 hours a day.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the A Train to Sedona broadcast. I'm Linda Marsanico, and my guest is Yuval Rodan. So, Yuval, if you could share only one message to a leader on the edge, what would that be?
Wow, this is a very tough question, but very fascinating question. We are under revolution. The true revolution is not the AI revolution. Yes, most of the people believe that this is the current revolution we are facing. But the true revolution is to really accept that in addition to soft skills and hard skills, which everybody, of course, familiar with, there are also high skills. And very soon, know-how will not be a challenge anymore. AI give us the whole know-how in seconds. So only those that will adopt the high skills of the quantum physics, that understand that they can really attract or repel things to their life, will be the leaders of the new generation.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is maybe one of the strongest message I can really share.
So you're wanting to say, open up your minds, be aware of what quantum physics and the universe is screaming out to us. Broadcasting. You know, when I think, I wrote this, it's on the show notes. Einstein is my favorite scientist, and I love Max Planck and Niels Bohr. I mean, Niels Bohr dreamt about the atom. And when he got up, he remembered the dream, which is, I think, a spiritual nudge, and he didn't have words for the atom. So this is all very magical and very wonderful. So here is the universe moving us to become all that we can be. And all that we can be is a little bit uniquely different for everyone, yet we're all very, very similar and very, very powerful. So what would you say to a person on the edge now? Let's leave the business leaders, the founders, where they are, and say, talk to the person on the edge. Yuval?
Life is a game. You can really play the game and win the game if you're just open enough to learn the rules of the game. And yes, we are all struggling from time to time on relationship, love, family, compassion. We are really, really here to learn what the rules of the game. And we can really get everything we want in our life. And yes, it's might become so high that people might think it as a fairy tale. But no, it's not. It's physics. Yes, it has a lot of spirituality inside. I agree. But at the end of the day, it's physics. And people struggling for nothing. If they just would be open for something that a bit strange now, it won't be strange maybe a few years from now, they can really shift their life. They can really heal themselves. They can really have their soulmate. They can really have money, relationship, fulfillment. And it's just a second away. It's here.
Now, I want to share that when I was first developing my website, I wanted it to be a spiritual website. And I thought about it for 6 months from this perspective and that perspective. And I finally thought it has to be about love and compassion. My journey to love and compassion takes a lot of looking inward, letting go of what doesn't serve me, seeing perspectives that I would prefer not to see. You know, the Beatles wrote a song, Love is All There Is. Love is all there is. And I did a blog about it. And the music, the way they write the song, the music is so complex. Bach, the French national anthem, it goes on and on with different musicians. And I interpreted that as, I interpreted the meaning to be love is all there is, but to get there is circuitous. It takes an attitude, a deliberation, a willingness to look at the self. So because when I'm loving and compassionate and I become more open to the magic around me, you mentioned, and I agree, that we come in because we agree to come in to face the karma of the past, which is really all other lifetimes happening simultaneously. We come in and we have this very low opinion of ourselves. And the challenge is to get through that. And with that openness, it could take a second. Eckhart Tolle talks about going to sleep, suicidal, he goes to sleep, and he gets up and he's transformed. And I say, sure, it's easier for you than it is for me, because it's taken me my life's journey. And that's why I write about it, Yuval, in the book, to inspire, because at times, you know, it's a little more than uncertain. So I hope that our views coincide, to be loving and compassionate. And this is really the purpose of the A Train to Sedona broadcast, to bring in ideas, because when I embrace spirituality and quantum physics, I'm embracing and I'm more open-minded to these perspectives, to change like that. And then we're always moving and grooving and changing, because we're never finished. My father used to say, well, you're in practice. Do you ever get perfect? I said, no, we're always learning more in an infinite, ever-expanding universe.
It is so true. Wow, that's amazing. We are expanding together with the universe. As the universe expands, we expand. And this is really very touching.
So I'm wondering how people can get in touch with you, how our listeners can find you.
First of all, I'd like to thank you personally for inviting me here. For me, it's a privilege, it's an honor. It's a way of maybe sharing my gift I'm trying to share all over the globe. And I'm here really to change people's life. And I'm doing it on a daily basis. And you cannot do it if you really don't have deep love within you. It just doesn't work. And you know that.
I know that
intimately. Yes. And a lot of compassion. Otherwise, it never works. It just cannot be. But it's never about me. It's never about me. It's about whoever wants to make the shift. I'm ready to be with him, hand to hand, jump in the rabbit hole, and just have it.
And then coming up out of the rabbit hole.
Yes. So I'm having my website. It's a quantummindset.com. And people can reach me over there. They can really schedule a meeting where we can really have a quick magnetic or polarity checkup. And then they can really, in 10 minutes, understand what is really blocking them in their life and what should be shifted. The process usually is quite short process with me. It takes few months, but not more than that. And people are really make quantum leap in life from no money to abundance of money, from broken relationship to amazing relationship, from anything they want, they can really get in their life. I'm not promising any results, of course, because at the end of the day, it is their process, but their life completely changed for those that are really open to be surrounded to magical process that open our eyes to this magical game that we're living in.
Thank you so much, Yuval. Thank you for being a guest, and your open heart shows and it resonates, which is what we're talking about in the new reality. Now, I wanted to mention, listeners, for next week, I have Antonia and Greg, founders of the Self-Health Institute, where they help people reach their full potential. This is what the A Train to Sedona is about. Thank you for joining us. Again, Yuval, it's been a joy.
And thank you for inviting me and for the listeners to be with us. And I really hope that we can meet again here soon.
We'll keep that in mind as we go forward.
Thank you.